So the deadline for raising the debt ceiling is coming ever closer. And at the moment there are two plans on the table, one by Reid and one by Boehner. Scott, what are the differences between the plans?
Well, we've heard a lot about two very different numbers. We've heard that the Congressional Budget Office has scored the Boehner plan at $915 billion. On the other hand, we've heard that they've scored the Reid plan at $2.2 trillion. Now, in reality, these two plans are quite similar. They both cap discretionary spending, but the difference is the Boehner plan ignores war spending. The Reid plan, on the other hand, caps the war spending. So when you get beyond the war spending, both plans are actually saving about $750 billion in discretionary savings. Now the difference, the real difference, is the way they go about raising the debt ceiling. They both raise it. Now the Reid plan raises it by $2.7 trillion right away. And the Boehner plan has a tiered approach. It will raise it by about $900 billion right away and by up to $1.6 trillion later down the road. So what's the effect of that? The effect is, under the Boehner plan, we will be talking about this again during the election. Under the Reid plan, we can put this off until after the election.
So they're basically, they're very similar plans. That's the point?
Indeed, they're very similar. They're both saving about $750 billion in discretionary cuts. But Chris, do you think that this will solve the problem?
Well, not really. I mean, ultimately, if you include interest costs as well, both these plans save about $1 trillion over the next 10 years. But at Bloomberg Government, we've done some work to try and work out what needs to be done in deficit reduction measures. That could be either spending cuts or raising tax revenues. We worked out that to get to 60% debt to GDP in 2020, you'll need $4.9 trillion worth of deficit reduction measures. Now, obviously, $1 trillion is a long way from that $4.9 trillion. And even the Gang of Six came up with a number of $3.7 trillion over the next 10 years. Now, their target is about 70% debt being 70% of GDP rather than 60%. Ultimately, Standard & Poor's and Moody's, the credit rating agencies, won't care too much about the target, whether it's 60 or 70, but they will care that $1 trillion is a long way from either 3.7 or 4.5 or $5 trillion. So just getting either of these plans passed will not resolve the issue over whether the US sovereign credit rating will be downgraded from its current AAA status. That will still be a debate that needs to come. In other words, this is the start of the debate. It's certainly not the end of it.